What's going on YouTube? You're watching Juice Audio, and today I'm reviewing the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro open back headphones. So these headphones were lent to me about a week ago for one of my good friends, and at first I didn't like them as much, but they really grew on me over time. With the 5-star rating anywhere you could find these online, I had to get my hands on these. So a quick overview of this video. These headphones are a great value. They're built like a tank, they sound great, they have an open soundstage, but they're very bright and you absolutely need an amp to power these. If you don't have an amp and don't plan on buying one, I wouldn't bother getting these headphones. So to start this review, I'm gonna go over the build of these headphones. So these headphones are built very robust. They have some metal on them. As you hear that, I think it's aluminum, but otherwise they're mostly plastic. Inside they have these velour pads with circle cups, and the headband doesn't have much design to it, but it just has like a fake leather wrap on it that you can easily take off and replace. So the comfort of these, they're very light and comfortable on the ears, but I did not like the headband at all. After wearing these for an hour, they hurt the top of my head, and I had to take a couple breaks when listening to these. It's different for me because I have a longer head, but if you have a rounder head, these headphones would work perfect. So they don't have detachable wires, but the cable is built very well, and it only goes into one side of the ear cups, so I don't think you can run balanced cables on these unless you want to do some crazy mod. So as far as the look, these headphones look pretty retro. They look like something you see a director wearing at a movie set. So going over the sound of these headphones, I've heard a few Beyerdynamics and they all have a very similar sound signature. They sound super bright, warm bass, recessed mids, but have an open soundstage. So before I go into detail, I just want to explain one thing. Brightness in a headphone does not mean it is detailed. And why do I say that? Because bass can be detailed, mid-range can be detailed. So that doesn't only mean if a headphone is bright that it is detailed. So what makes a headphone detailed? I would say it's the speed of the driver, how quick it can react to what you're giving it. So with that out of the way, these headphones are actually still very detailed. So starting with the bass of these headphones, the bass on these headphones is very punchy and fun to listen to. It's not what I expected on these headphones. I thought they're gonna be very neutral and flat. They do roll off quickly, but within that 80 to 100, 120 range, they're warm and they have a lot of punch and kick to them. The bass on these I actually like a lot, probably the most out of a lot of headphones I've heard. So these are V-shaped headphones, which means the mid-range is very recessed, but that gives you the sound that the mid-range is farther away from you. So if you're a mid-range person, you like to hear those guitars crunch and the presence of mid-range, these probably won't be the headphones for you. So the high end on these is airy and detailed, but it is super bright. Any S's that weren't de-essed in recordings will come out and you will hear those super loud. Like, it's crazy how much S's poke out on these headphones. But I still enjoy the high end. I found myself listening to these at lower volumes, which is alright because it's good to listen at lower volumes so you don't damage your ears over time. So I could see audio engineers like as myself using these because they really bring out the highs and show you the flaws in your recording. Is there noise in the background? Did you not de-ess nicely? So they're really a tool for picking out little things in the high end and fixing those problems. But otherwise, I see online that gamers love these headphones. And that makes sense because the more high end on the spectrum you go, the more directional the sound is. So going over the soundstage, these have a very nice soundstage. The music is not super far, but it's outside the headphones. So these really do work well with Sonarworks. I use these at 70%. It brings on the high end here. Boosts the mid-range that is almost completely missing in my opinion. And brings up the low lows because these have a steep roll off. So these are open back headphones, so they do bleed sound, which I'll give you a quick test here versus the Audio-Technica M50Xs. So if you plan on recording music and using these while you're tracking your vocals, I want to do that because it's going to leak out and go into your vocal mic. But if you're tracking a band, that's fine because there's already enough sound leaking anyway. And I just want to note, if you haven't listened to open back headphones, once you do, it's hard to go back to closed back headphones because there's no pressure buildup on your ears and they don't fatigue your ears as quick, even if they're bright like this. And they generally have a more open sound to them, open character, and the bass tends to go lower and cleaner. So these headphones are 250 ohm, which is a very high impedance. So you absolutely need an amp to power these. I ran these on my phone for like 30 minutes when I first got these. I was like, what am I listening to? Is straight high end. There's no bass at all. And I was hoping that really wasn't the sound. So I put these in on my headphone amp and then the bass really came out and all the sounds started coming through and they became a very enjoyable headphone. So I don't know if gamers are running these straight through their Xbox controllers or something and it sounds good, but if it does, then it's all good. So at the price point of $160, I would not consider buying these unless you have an amp or you plan on getting an amp, because you will not hear what you need to hear from these if you don't have one. So overall, these are very good headphones. So I personally would not use these for casual listening, but I definitely would use these for mixing. These really bring out the high end on any recording you hear. And if there's noise or sound in the room that you need to fix, you will definitely hear it with these. If you need a DS even more, you'll definitely hear it with these. So at $160, these are a great value, amazing value, honestly. I would definitely recommend these to anybody who wants to get started in the open back headphone world. And overall, they're a great value. I'd give these like an 8 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Comment, like, subscribe if you have any questions or you want to see any other reviews. And you guys have a good one.